I am exhausted and I'm out here catching some air, and I'm doing so at the administrative building of the Panama Canal, which you will see right over there. It is a pretty busy place and it runs 24 hours a day, which is why I love Panama, because there's money coming into this country and city 24 hours a day. It's just remarkable. So I wanted to cover quickly here a little bit more about taxes and how the whole taxation system is not falling apart, but it's become a couple things: a scam, a dodge, and, well, a Ponzi scheme. Right now, the Canada Revenue Agency is quite broke. And what I can do to prove that to you is, I do taxes for a living. We've got a whole lot of tax returns that we're doing for people. And the tax returns, it's taking about 6 months now for people to get their money back. We always get people money back. Every tax return that we do gets money back for whoever comes to us. But the CRA is delaying refunding money now up to 6 months, and that is because they are broke. That's right, they're broke. So they're stealing money from other Canadians to give to the Canadians that I do taxes for. It's only a matter of time. I mean, it's been my goal to bankrupt the CRA for a very long time, and it looks like we're right on track to be able to do just that. I got more good news to report, everybody. The Canada Revenue Agency is so angry with what I am doing that they have now begun watching my show. And whenever I'm talking to CRA auditors, such as banning them from going to my clients' places of business or homes or otherwise, they're trying their very best to mock me or goad me into a fight by mocking the fact that I talk at length about this type of thing, being taxes online. I've been threatened now by a couple of auditors who have told me that they want very much to test me. They're going to be the ones to take me down and so on. And I've been challenging CRA auditors now to please just file a lawsuit. Let me file a defense so that I can subpoena every single witness that I want to subpoena, and we can duke this out in the courts. Naturally, of course, they don't sue. So that brings me to a point. This is a very common question that I get from a lot of Canadians. Does the CRA sue people? Nope. No, they don't. You know why? Because they have no laws to back up anything that they are doing. It doesn't matter that there's an income tax act that says that they are allowed to behave like miscreants, but that doesn't mean that they are allowed to take your money at all. So they don't sue people. They don't want to get into court, especially with someone like myself who hates them. I hate them with all my heart. So do you really want to fight a guy who hates every facet of your existence? I do not view the CRA, anybody who works for it, as a human being. I view them as toys for me to play with. I view them as dry fly shit on a piece of dry dog shit. That's exactly how I view them, and that's exactly how I'm going to view them for the rest of my days. So I'm looking very forward to the CRA filing some type of lawsuit against me. I've been challenging them for 2 years, every single day for 2 years straight. I'm challenging the CRA. Sue me, please. Let's fight in court. And they won't do it. I even have Mike Kexum, that's the guy's name. He is the manager. He calls himself the regional manager for Southwest Ontario. He covers the Detroit border all the way over to Toronto. He even admitted in a conversation that the CRA does not sue people because it's not profitable. Of course it's not profitable. You got to file the suit first off, and then you've got to get a lawyer involved. The CRA does not have their own lawyers. They go to the Department of Justice to get lawyers there, and the DOJ is actually billing them for their time. So the government's billing the government for their time to represent the government against people who are not the government inside of a government court. Now, how crazy is that? So that is why I'm always on their case, always giving them a difficult time, and always issuing the challenge. And if they won't sue me, the guy who cost them $42 million last year, what makes you think they're going to sue you if you only owe a couple of $1,000s? I mean, come on, everyone. We got to start thinking logically here. To sue somebody, here's the way it works in Canada. You got to type up a lawsuit. You then have to go to the courthouse and file it. You then have to serve it to all of the defendants. You then have to wait 15 days, up to 21 days, depending on what province you're in, for a defense. When the person getting sued files a defense, which of course I always do when I get sued, then you have what's called a settlement conference. Now that could come up anywhere between, let's say, 2 weeks and a few months down the road. In the settlement conference, if it's me, I'm going to state, yeah, no deal. I'm not settling out of court. I want a full-blown trial. That's what I want. And then I get the opportunity to tell the court clerk, you know what, when we do this trial, I would like a 5-day trial, please, because I've got over 200 witnesses I'm going to subpoena and about 200 people that work for the CRA that I want to question so that we can question the validity of the entire institution. I mean, imagine me having 400 plus people on the stand at some point, like just one at a time, asking questions, the judge or the justice of the peace, presiding over the settlement conference is not going to allow that trial to take place. They're just not. So when the CRA, should they decide to sue someone, it's going to go all the way to trial. And here's the other part too. And I know this because just look my name up online. You'll see that I've been sued by baby-killing terrorists. I've been sued by pedophiles. I have been sued by an actual killer. I've been sued by all these people for telling the truth about them. And because the left-wing judges in Canada, who themselves are pedophiles, have decided that they don't like me not liking them, they chose to make me lose these lawsuits. So I owe $6 million in lawsuit losses. What do they call them? Judgments. Thank you. I owe $6 million in judgments, and I haven't paid a single penny. I even told the courts in advance, I'm not going to pay you. It doesn't matter if you win. You're not getting any money. I do not recognize the authority of these courts. And of course, the judges didn't like that, so I automatically lost, which is fine because, like I said, I wasn't going to pay anyway. So think about that. Canada's biggest terror funder, his name is Mohammed Faqih. He is hugely, immensely wealthy. And he could not get a penny out of me after suing me. He pursued me in the courts for 5 years. He couldn't get a penny out of me, but he spent over $1 million trying to get a couple $1,000s out of me, and I gave him nothing. So if you were to be sued, which they won't, I'm telling you that you can delay something 5 years. Do you really think the average person, even the CRA, is going to chase you for 5 years? The only reason that Mohammed Faqih pursued me in the courts for 5 years is because I had exposed him for what he is, and that's a terrorist, a terror funder. The Americans know all about him now, thanks to me. So do the Costa Ricans, the Mexicans, the Panamanians, and the Colombians. I made sure all those governments knew who it was that they were dealing with. So if he crosses any of their borders, he's going to get kicked right out. I'm saying that the courts can be used both ways, for us to win and for them to win, and the CRA is not going to sue you or me because they don't want to lose and set a precedent. So that is one of the biggest questions I'm always asked. What happens when the CRA sues me? They won't. Now, a question that just popped up there, what happens when they charge interest? We appeal it. And if the tax court does not let the appeal go through, fine. Then we sue the CRA in real court, not tax court, but in real court. If you hit the CRA with a $10 million lawsuit, they're immediately going to look at how much money it's going to cost them in lawyer fees. I guarantee you, if you sue them for $10 million and you only, well, they say you owe them, let's say 50 grand, do you think for a second that they're going to let that thing go to court? They'll settle with you out of court by saying, okay, we'll just forgive the debt. A lot of auditors and a lot of special case managers at the CRA will tell you, oh, we don't have the authority. Even the Minister of Finance doesn't have the authority to make a deal on your taxes. That's a lie. How do I know? Well, because I'm your tax guy. If I can take your taxes, a tax bill that's 15 years old, that you've been paying interest on for 15 years, and wipe out the original tax bill and then 15 years of interest. If I can do it, they can do it. So don't believe anything anybody in the government has to say. They're all liars. They are in it to steal as much as they possibly can from you. Here's another important factor for all of you to consider when you're dealing with the CRA. There is what they call the client index. The CRA actually has a 3-digit number for everybody, 000 to 999. If they get on the phone with you and they say, you owe us money, and you cry like a bitch, they're going to put down cries. So your index goes up. If you try to talk yourself out of it, okay, weak person, your index goes higher. If you make up stories or tell them the truth, which could be, my mother got sick, I didn't know what I was doing, I have cancer, they don't care. What they do is they just raise your index, thinking, okay, this person's really weak, we can frighten them into paying. Most of you have an index of over 700. Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? My index is 000. That's right, 3 zeros. Because the CRA is well aware of the fact that I will fight back. I've charged 7 of them last year with criminal offenses. We just hired a private investigator to track down someone, and we found her, and I'm going to expose her and her pathetic family. She's not even a damn citizen of Canada. She's going to get deported when I'm done with her, and she'll be on the no-fly list in the United States. My index is 0, your index is high. If you pay them, if they say, oh, you owe us money and you pay them, your index will go up by over 400 points. Come on, people. Just because some loser makes a phone call to you, you get all panicky and fear-filled and cry and throw money at the CRA. If they say you owe 10 grand and you give them 10 grand, your index is going to go way up. So what they'll do is say, oh, we reassessed you. You owe us 5,000 more, so you pay that. Now it's 3,000 more. You pay that. Now it's 2,000. They're just going to keep sending bills because you're a sucker. Your sucker index is high, and you're going to keep paying it. So you don't talk to the CRA. You tell them, I hired KevinJJohnston to be my legal agent. Talk to him. And you give them my Canadian phone number, which I will be giving to you when you become a client. Now, good question here. What happens when they freeze your bank account? Would you like to know how easy it is to solve that problem? No, go on. Let's get to 5,000 likes right now, and I'll tell you. I'll wait. 5,000 likes. Go. Double fingers on the screen, because TikTok really, really likes it when people hit that like button. Okay, that's 655. Thank you for the roses there. That's 786. Keep going, guys. 5,000. I'm going to tell you exactly just how easy it is. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. Just how easy it is for us to get your bank accounts back. It is remarkably easy, and it's incredibly cheap. Come on, keep going. Here, tell you what. While you're doing that, I'm going to show you. This is the administrative building for the Panama Canal. That's where I am right now. If anybody has a sniper rifle and wants to shoot me in the head, this is where I'm standing right now. Beautiful, isn't it? And over my shoulder, yep, that is the first lock and crane of the Panama Canal. You see all the cranes back there? That's the Panama Canal, everybody. That's the old military base, which is now a residence for a lot of people. A lot of people that work in the canal live there. There you go. This right here, this is Ancon Mountain, where the Americans stationed themselves and fired rockets into downtown El Chorrillo back in 1989. All right, there we go. And we're at 5,000 likes. You people are the best. God bless you. I love you all. Here we go. If you want to get your bank account unfrozen with the CRA, I just have to redo your taxes and get them to 0. That's it. That's it. I get your taxes to 0. I find every single write-off that you forgot about. I find every single, not loophole in the law, but every single law, and I know all of them, to get your tax bill to 0. Once your tax bill goes to 0, what happens? They have no choice but to send the bank a letter stating that your bank account now must be unlocked. But we're not done yet. You see, the bank breached their contract with you. They also stole your money. Are you going to let the bank get away with it, or are you going to sue them? If you sue the bank, they pay. Every time I've sued the bank, they pay. And I don't get greedy with my numbers. I don't hit them with like $90 million lawsuits. That's dumb. I hit them with $20,000 lawsuits. And they usually will settle that for about $5,000 or $6,000. So you'll get some money for your pain and your suffering. But don't wait. If they've frozen your account, don't wait. One more thing, everybody. If you get a single letter from the CRA telling you that you owe money, that's your cue to drain your bank account. Everybody in Canada who gets a letter from the CRA needs to drain their accounts now. Until I can fix your taxes, then you can go back to having a personal bank account. Drain the account. Make sure they can't take anything from you. Paul's asking, can you do business tax? Oh yeah, I love business tax. Business tax is awesome. That's the arena in which I really thrive, because obviously I'm a businessman, but I have what we'll call not an admiration, but a love of how poorly written corporate tax laws are. Corporate tax laws completely favor the corporation and not the CRA, if you know them. And what bothers me about tax lawyers in Canada and accountants and chartered professional accountants in Canada is a lot of them know the same tricks that I know, but they're cowards. They won't do it. And do you know why? Because they all say the same thing. Two things they all say. I don't want trouble. Well, that's life, man. Being an adult is a pain in the ass. You get trouble every damn day as an adult. That's just how. Suck it up, Buttercup. Deal with it. The other thing is, they all say, I don't want to lose my license. The CRA has no such authority. The CRA cannot pull your license. They cannot pull your legal license, they cannot pull your paralegal license, and they cannot pull your CPA designations. There is no such power that they have. So anyone who talks like that's a bitch, and get rid of them. You cannot do business with people like that because they're not adults. They're cowards. They're little children hiding in the corners, skulking around. You know, they're afraid of the boogeyman. They pull their covers over their heads at night. That's what they are. Don't deal with cowards. A coward will always screw you in favor of themselves every single time. You know, I am the only tax guy in all of Canada that when I do your tax return, not only do I swear them in to the courts, I swear everything into the courts, but I also state that they are 100% accurate, and I take full accountability for everything I put in your tax return, which means if the CRA was going to sue anybody, it has to be me, not you. I take accountability for everything that I do. Every other accountant in the entire country of Canada will write reports to you saying that they cannot and they will not be held liable for what reports they've put together. Well, what the hell are you hiring them for? You're going to give money to an accountant who then says, yeah, I'm going to put some numbers down, you're going to pay tax, and I'm not taking any accountability for it. Holy crap. I mean, you got to read the fine print, everybody. You really do. So, question. I'm behind on my business tax from 2018. I love those files. If your business tax is 5 or 6 years late, awesome. Because your tax bill is going to be whatever I say it is. Get a hold of me. You're not going to pay a penny of tax. Not one penny. And by the way, folks, I do not reply to DMs on social media. I don't have time. I only reply to people who communicate through my website, which is on my profile here. Because again, we just don't have time. My days are like 16 hours now. This is my first day exercising in 4 days. It's actually, I'm changing what I do. I got to get out and exercise more. That's how much tax work we're doing for people. And I love you all for becoming clients. But you got to understand something. You know, it's a two-way street. So get a hold of me through my website. That'll save a bunch of time, and I can fix that tax problem. I need business GST help. Okay, so Domi Witch, GST is never the problem that you think it is. The harmonized sales tax in some provinces, you got the goods and services tax in other provinces, along with the PST, the provincial sales tax in those provinces. It's not a difficult fix. Remember, the CRA knows only what you tell them, so stop telling them everything. All right? I'll tell them what they need to know, and I'll tell them the minimal amount that the law allows me to do. That's it, and we get you some GST back, or at least we kill your GST debt. Get a hold of me. We'll certainly take care of that. RUSPC. I'm not sure what that is. Special? Yes. But will you still get a refund that I say that you're entitled to? Well, yes, that you will, because when I sign everything in with affidavits, I'm swearing to the courts that everything is accurate. Yes. Typically, the CRA pays people 90% of the time after I'm done their tax returns. We've had 2 reassessments. 2. And both times it's because the client lied to me. Didn't tell me the whole story. If I don't know the whole story, I can't help you. So if you're going to call me and try to deceive me, it's going to backfire. And if you lied to me and the CRA comes back and the lies you've told me have screwed you up, I'm not going to fix that. So here's the deal. I become not only your tax guy, I'm going to be your legal agent, which means we are in a client-solicitor privilege relationship, which means I can never discuss with anybody what you tell me, and I can never be called to testify against you in a court of law. And I would just state, let's just say, for argument's sake, that there was going to be a court date between the CRA and you. And the judge calls me to the stand, or the Crown does, to state that I must testify against you. First thing out of my mouth. I have been in a client-solicitor privilege relationship with this client of mine right here, right now, for the last 3 years. I cannot testify. May I be excused from the stand. Done. Done. If they say that I must, I will say, okay, I'm not going to. So what I'll do right now is take a 3-day contempt of court sentence. Now, what other accounting firm will do that for you? Think about that. And Domi Witch says it's crazy. So many of us are terrified of the CRA. I watched my mom go through so much. Yeah, they're cowards. They're losers. They've had 30,000 diversity and equity hires. I got to be careful what I say because the left wing go crazy, and my lives get blocked like right in the middle of them because of left wing politic losers. But the CRA, they're not cops. They're just dumb people, like excessively low IQ people that work there. And when you hire 30,000 foreigners who don't speak English, think about how little that institution's actually getting done. There's 60,000 CRA reps, which is more than the Canadian military, but the vast majority of them can't function. They don't have the brain power for it. So this is a good time for us to be fighting back. All right? Do you know, I got rid of a Nigerian nutcase who was bugging a client of mine, threatening, screaming, yelling, and so on. I just sent over a curse. Yeah, a Nigerian curse. Woo, by fax. And then I got a phone call from some beta cuck loser white male who said, "Did you curse my staff member?" I said, "Yeah, of course I did." "Well, could you lift the curse?" "No." Yeah, really. I cursed her. It's ridiculous. That's the kind of people that are working for the CRA right now. Why are you afraid of that? Alrighty. The CRA is holding my business GST monies because I'm behind on my IT returns. Oh, well, hey, that's an easy one, man. Holy crap. I'll get them all done for you. Like, that one there is an easy one because I know what I'm doing. But if they're going to be holding back your GST, then we go to war with them. And there's a number of legal documents that I put forward. Legal documents I created, by the way, and we send over to the CRA, and they have no choice but to release them. Otherwise, they would have to do what? Oh, yeah, that's right. Challenge you in court. And what do they don't do? They don't challenge anybody in court. Grassroots says, "I have a consultation with you in 3 months." Yeah, you know, I just looked at my schedule today. Holy crap. I booked till like June. Wow, it's crazy. So see here. Sylvie says, "We have an appointment with you at the end of the month. You can't wait." Okay, so Sylvie, if you have a threat letter, get it over to Christine. She's my executive assistant. She's second in command. Get that. You have her email address if you bought a consultation. You get that to her right away. You let her know what it is. Now, you probably will not get a full hour consultation, but the emergency stuff, I can get like 15, 20 minutes with you and we can go through it and at least get the first part of the strategy done. I mean, you'll get your full hour in time, but we can do an emergency 15, 20 minute call and find out what that problem is. Okay, you do that. You know how to reach her. I have a corporation that didn't make very much money. I need to close it, but okay, so you've got to do the taxes. You've never done them. All right, what would it cost? Well, it's $2,000 with us per year for your corporate income tax and your GST returns to get done. But it would be cheaper to just sell me the corporation. That's it. It's cheaper to do that than to waste your time doing taxes if you opened up a corp and never used it. So do that, sell me the company itself, the whole thing, in a share sale. I'll take over all the liabilities and I'll do the taxes at a later date. Do that, get a hold of me on my website, please, and put down that you saw me here live on TikTok and you want to sell me your corporation. I run a consulting company in the film industry. We should talk. I have 1,700 clients that may need my help. CJ Clayton, I pay commissions on that. So, you know, yeah. Get a hold of me on my website. Remember, everybody, I don't have time. I don't even read my comments anymore. I don't have time. So do it on my website and we'll do some business. There we are. What would a return look like from a normal construction worker making $80K per year doing basic taxes? If I do your taxes, your taxable income would probably drop to about $20K. And if you're getting taxed on $20,000, you're probably paying about $1,100. Sound good? Get a hold of me. I had someone contact me saying they worked with you. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, Petra, and this is something I want to warn everybody about. I don't do cold calls. So I don't jump on the phone with people and say, "Hi, my name is KevinJJohnston. I want you to give me some money, blah, 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 do your taxes." I don't do that. If you have not spoken to me directly in a private chat room that I will assign to you after you get your consultation, then it ain't me. I've already seen some of the deep fakes out there from Nigeria and from all over the world. First off, when they use my face to talk to you, that is them lying to you. Whenever I do a consultation, you talk to me on the phone, or you talk to me in WhatsApp video chat, or you talk to me in a private chat room. So whenever we're doing the deal, and whenever I'm collecting a payment from you, you're talking to me face to face. You're not going to get some video, which I have seen, by the way. It's a really bad deep fake where you see me wearing a sweatshirt, which I haven't done in 2 years since I left Canada, because I live in the tropics now. There's me in a big, bulky winter, sweater. And it says, "Hi, my name is KevinJJohnston. Give me crypto." That's how it looks. Like the mouth is opening up like a big puppet. Now pay attention to the way my face moves. When I speak, for whatever the reason, I think it's because I broke my jaw so many times, you don't see my top teeth when I speak. You just don't. Even when the camera's down here, you still don't see my top teeth. I mean, I've got them, but you don't see them when I speak. And all these deep fake videos have got my eyes going, whoa, like really big eyes, and my top teeth are right on like this. All right, that ain't me. So if you actually have not spoken to me, where you're asking me questions and I'm actually answering them, looking at you, don't give up any money to anybody. The deep fakers are out there. Stay away from them, please. Okay, I've been reassessed a couple times, and the receipts for the proof, they said that you owe $10,000. That they're doing that to everybody. It's not just you, it's everyone. They're lying to everybody and stating that everybody owes money. An assessment is just a wild guess. The Excise Tax Act allows them to lie. That's unfortunate. So they lie to everybody. You know what you do? We appeal. We appeal that, and we get a court date, which is in tax court. And then while the court date's coming up 2 years down the road, I just fix your taxes and I get rid of their assessment. There we are. Just checking your questions here. I just started working in the United States, but I'm in Canada. But oh, so you're a Canadian. How can I get out of paying Canadian taxes? Make me your tax guy. You'll never pay a penny. If you're not making money with a Canadian company, you're not obligated to tell the CRA that you make money elsewhere. Why would you? You're not obligated to tell the CRA about the following. Ready for this? Here's a big list, everybody. Gambling earnings. Yeah. Secondary job incomes. Capital gains on rental properties that you've sold. Rent that you make on rental properties. Yeah. Lottery winnings. Nothing. Garage sale earnings. The sale of a private car. You don't have to report any of that. If you're a Canadian working for an American company, why would you think for an instant that you have to pay the CRA money on you're making in a different country? I make a lot of money here in Panama. A lot of money in Panama. You think for a second as a Canadian citizen, although I'm embarrassed to be one, that I'm going to call the CRA and say, "Hey guys, guess what? Hey, I just made some money here in Panama. I want to give it to you because I'm afraid of you." No, absolutely not. When the CRA calls me, typically it's because they're having to speak to me because I'm protecting my clients. But the CRA, the last time that they called me to tell me that I owe tax dollars was 2006. And the guy who called me was Pakistani. He had the thick accent and he pissed me off. It takes a lot to make me angry. It really takes a lot to get me mad. This guy pissed me off. He called me on a Friday telling me that I owed money and he was going to take my car and take my house and he knew about my PayPal account and so on. Thinking, all right, listen, asshole. And I was in a bad mood that day. I'd had 3 really bad days in a row. I wasn't in the mood for it. So I told him, "You call me again, I'm going to charge you criminally. I'll find you." "No, you won't. I work for the CRA. I am immune to it. You cannot prosecute me." Okay, fine. So he called me on the Monday. I went down to the St. Catharines office. That's close to Niagara Falls in the province of Ontario. And I took photographs of every license plate in their parking lot. Every single plate. I called a friend of mine who worked for the Ministry of Transport of Ontario. I said, "Run all these plates. I want to find this guy." And we did. We found him. And it turns out that he lived in Hamilton, Ontario. So I decided, because I live in the city of Mississauga, to go to the Brampton courthouse and file criminal charges there. And then when it came time for his first court appearance, because the cops went down and took the subpoena to him, he didn't get arrested. He got a subpoena to appear in a summons, they call it, to appear in court. So when he was there, he sees me. Oh, sir, I am so sorry. I did not mean it. Oh, sir. No. And he's touching his forehead to my hands. And it's like, dude, get away from me. Get lost. I called the cops over and said, this guy's touching me. Get him out of here. I told him right to his face, you're going to jail, buddy. Bye-bye. Now, 6 months later, when the trial date was supposed to come up in what they call a preliminary hearing, which was actually the third one, they decided to drop the charges so that they wouldn't set a precedent that the CRA could go to prison, which kind of irritated me. But then I did some research, and it turns out that, damn it, if I knew just one more thing, I could have been the prosecuting attorney. I could have been the Crown. Damn! I found that out later. So you can't charge the guy twice with the same crime, but the CRA has never called me since. Not on a personal level, and not for personal taxes. All of you got to do the same thing. Because now that I know that I can be the Crown, if we charge CRA representatives, I can be the Crown. I can be the prosecutor. Why are we not all filing criminal charges against every single member of the CRA who calls us after we tell them not to? You've got the right to do this, Canada. Why are you all so afraid of your own friggin' shadows? I don't get it. I really don't. You know what's funny? There's a lot of Canadians out there. You guys, you'll get tallow and bacon fat, and you'll throw bread and bacon fat and bacon out in the woods so that you can go like this with a black bear eating tallow beside you. You'll actually do that. You'll try to get TikTok views by fooling around with a black bear in Canada, but then you'll cry when the CRA calls you. Would somebody please, with the higher IQ than me, explain that to me? It doesn't make a lick of sense. So let's fight back, everybody. All right, Sabrina says, I'll be reaching out towards the end of the month. I have an elderly lady I work with as a personal... Okay, so yeah, we have a great seniors discount program, and we've got a great veterans discount program. So do get a hold of me, please. I have QST. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sam says, I have QST and GST penalty to pay for a QST Incorporated. I didn't do the report. Something I can do? Well, yes, there is. We could refile all your taxes at a loss. If it's a corporation, there's going to be all kinds of expenses that you forgot about. And we'll find them all, and we'll put them all in and redo your taxes going back 10 years and get you back money as opposed to you owing money. Now, one more thing. Quebec is crazy, okay? The government of Quebec is out of their friggin' minds. In Canada, every single province except for Quebec runs on common law, which is standard across the board. I mean, it sucks, but it's better than Quebec because Quebec is working on civic law, which is why Quebec can do whatever it wants, like have its own taxation system that's as strict as Adolf Hitler was. They're horrible. If you are in Quebec and you live in Quebec, there are some places of Quebec that are beautiful. I'm not going to lie to you. Like Quebec City is gorgeous. I love that place. I just don't like the politics. But if you had a business in Quebec, what we would do is register a numbered corporation for you in the province of Ontario, do all your sales out of Ontario, but live in Quebec where the better looking women are. That's how we can do things for you. And it's completely legal because the Charter of Rights and Freedoms dictates you can work wherever you want and live wherever you want. Yeah. So exercise your rights. Do you help with CEWS, K-Curd? Yes. CEWS, CERS, and CERB. We do them all. Thank you, Sylvia. I appreciate all the roses. Yeah. Thank you very much. We do them all. I want to make sure that if anybody did have to take out CEWS or CERS during that fake pandemic nonsense, that you get to keep all the money they gave you. And I will scrutinize your taxes, and I'll send in the appropriate court documents to protect you. That's what we do. And Christian Hatch is a troll. So we're just going to go ahead and block you, block the account. Bye-bye. And I've been asked before why I don't engage the trolls anymore. Well, it's because I'm not doing political commentary anymore. Politics is a pain in the butt in Canada. It doesn't pay. You don't make money being a political commentarian. You really don't. Or a social commentarian for that matter. So when all the trolls were in here, it was funny. The trolls helped build me to my first 20,000 followers. Now, they're just annoying. And they cost money. So I'm not going to engage them. I just block them. And yes, everyone, I do always tell the truth on my social media. I block all the negative naysayers because they don't have anything useful to add. The only time I leave negative comments up is when they get something right. If they quote a law and it's correct, I'll leave up the negative comments. But all the profanity and all the stupid belligerent stuff, we just block them. Not interested, guys. So if you're a left-wing nut, just go. This is not for you. You hate me. Why are you here? It doesn't make sense. I don't watch people that I hate, but the left wing does. Ethan asks, how can I avoid taxes on crypto? The Wealth Simple app has reported to the CRA. Make me your tax guy, and it is never going to happen. By the way, why are you dealing with Canadian crypto exchanges? That's the first question I ask everybody. They all report to FinTrack, not to the CRA. FinTrack may or may not report to the CRA if they feel like it. FinTrack is a small institution of 550 people in Canada that were supposed to be the spy agency against terrorists, but now they just spy on Canadians. So if you're going to do crypto, do it in international exchanges. Stop dealing with Canadian anything. Don't deal with Canadian crypto exchanges or crypto stock brokerages or Canadian banks. If you're investing, do it outside the country. Do you know what I'm setting up later this year? You'll be able to buy condominiums down here on the blockchain. We are going to be doing the type of thing where I buy a condo, but then we sell shares in the condo where you can do it on the blockchain. So imagine owning, let's say, 1/1000th of a condo, and you might get 20, 30 bucks a month coming out of it. We're doing blockchain ownership. All right? If you want to invest here in Panama. Forget Canada. The country's dead. There we go. Can you help with home rebates? Which rebate program are you talking about, Dean? I need more information, please. Will I still have my show live on Tuesday nights? Yes. I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, I used to do my podcast 5 days a week, everybody. And in 2021, during the fake pandemic, I was running for mayor of Calgary at the time. So our podcast was #1 in the country. In fact, we were outdoing the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation for numbers, and the Canadian government was not happy about that. Their numbers dropped and mine went up. We had over 300,000 people a night watching the show, and it was a good time. I do kind of, sort of, a little bit miss those days because of how many famous Canadians we got a chance to meet and interview. It was actually a really good time of my life. But the Canadian government, as you know, does not want anybody having that much political power, which I did have. So they kept locking me up. I've done 7 months in prison in Canada just for having a good podcast, all in solitary confinement. And when you're in solitary confinement, they give you between 700 and 900 calories a day. It's not much, and it's not even real food. It's junk. So I actually lost 35 pounds in my first stint in prison, and that was only 7 weeks. So factor in, everybody, that you live in a communist country, and if you are famous, which I was at the time, you go broke because they took everything. They pulled me over in the middle of nowhere. I had a 1994 Trans Am, completely souped up, and it was my first day driving it with all the souped up parts in the engine. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police pulled me over, didn't say anything to me. There was over 11 squad cars there, plus a couple of other supervisor cars. They brought a flatbed truck. They stole my car, and the one guy says, "Have a good day, Mr. Johnston," tips his hat, and left me 20 kilometers north of the city of Red Deer. In the cold, I only had a sweater. They just stole my car. I have no idea where it is. That's 3 years ago. They just stole my car. There's been no reports on it whatsoever. I filed a lawsuit against the RCMP and against the province of Alberta, and guess what happened? The courts in Alberta threw it out. That's how corrupt Canada is. It sucks to be a famous person in Canada, even quasi-famous. I mean, it's not like I was some A-lister. I was just some like D-list level minor celebrity in Canada only. Americans didn't know who I was, and why would they? I was reporting on Canadian politics and running for office in a Canadian city. So I just wanted to say that I've learned more than I think the average person should ever know about the Canadian court system, which is why I don't fear it, because I understand it. I just have zero interest in being around all the leftards who run the Canadian government. It's a horrible place to be because left-wing politics still runs the show. But as I've told you all, the CRA are mostly leftist losers, and they're not very smart people. And they don't have any laws to back up what they do. which is why I'm helping so many Canadians get all their money back from the CRA. So to answer your question there again, Sylvie, yes, I still do my live show 9 p.m. Eastern time every single Tuesday. I do it live here on TikTok, and I do it live on Rumble. I don't care about Facebook. It's probably still on Facebook. I don't care about Meta products anymore at all. It might be on YouTube. I don't care about them. Like TikTok is number one for us. So I always make sure that I go live Tuesdays there. Okay, let's have a look at more questions here. Just having a look at your questions. So yeah, to avoid taxes on crypto, everybody, you simply don't report your crypto earnings. Why would you? Okay? The CRA, you see, they made a big boo-boo. The CRA said that cryptocurrency is not real money. So how can they tax it if it's not real money according to them? Then they come up with a second report saying they don't think it's real, but they're going to tax it anyway. So if they have no legislation that allows them to tax it, why tell them? You don't have to tell them anything. I owe $2,300 in 2011. Compound interest from the government has grown to $62,000. Okay. Woke doubt. I have to go back to that tax year where the trouble started and redo the taxes for that year forward. If I do that, all of that goes away. All of it. Excuse me. Do you help with home rebates that were refused by the CRA? We don't have to, because I've got a better tax plan for you that'll get you back 2 to 3 times as much as you would get from those home rebates. Those home rebates are a friggin' scam. They really are, because it's always some foreigner that's in charge of them. And all they do is they get you to buy something from them, and then they give you no tax benefits in return. But who cares about tax benefits? Like I've just told you, the CRA only gets from us what we need to legally tell them. We're not going to tell them everything, which means that you're not going to be reporting all of your income, especially the stuff that legally you don't have to tell them. And if you have expenses that are outside of a home rebate, like medical, or like part-time earning expenses that you have, or legal expenses, all that counts towards your expenses. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you get medical work done in other countries, you can still write that off. Yeah, I help people get into surgeries down here. Panamanian hospitals are better than Canadian hospitals 50 times over. They are amazing down here. So I'm helping people get hip replacements and optic surgeries done, such as the removal of cataracts and the correction of myopia and whatnot. We're getting a lot of Canadians really good healthcare down here, but you got to pay for it. I mean, obviously you do. However, we can write that off because I own a medical company down here helping people get medicine. And I also do taxes. Isn't that funny? So we get you a full write-off on those expenses. Yeah, guys, even things like Viagra, we can get that down as a medical expense for you. No shit. We can do all of it. If you are an OnlyFans model, which I don't recommend, and you get breast implants done, that's marketing. I write that off as a marketing expense because why wouldn't I? If you get a really expensive set of veneers done in your teeth so that you're beautiful like me, and it costs you 10 grand, you better believe we're going to write that off as either a medical expense, which would be a little tougher, or a marketing expense, which is real easy to do. So haircuts and suits and ties and whatever else. If you do even one video on TikTok, your entire wardrobe is now a marketing write-off. Right? I pay $5 for haircuts down here in Panama. This is what a $5 haircut looks like. And I could write that off if I wanted to. I even got a beard trim for an extra $1 out of it. So that's $6 plus tip. It's $8. I could write that off as a marketing expense. Same with this $5 t-shirt, right? It's remarkable how much we can actually write off if you just know the laws. All right, I donated a lot of money last year, but I can't find the receipts. Do you know where I can find some? Yes, I do. I'll discuss that with you privately. Get a hold of me on my website, please. We are Satoshi says, I have an appointment with you on June the 8th. I can't wait. Okay, we have emergency time slots. You won't get the full hour for the emergency time slot, but you probably also don't need it. I can look at the emergency and tell you within 5 minutes what the solutions are, because there's nothing that's actually surprised me for the last little while, except for one thing, which I'll explain in a minute. So Christine is the lady you would have spoken to get that booking. Let her know it's an emergency. Send her a copy by email of the letter, the threat that you have, and I can get you a quick 15-minute emergency consult. No extra cost, of course. But you've got to show us the letter, okay? Get that to us. Thank you. Tovi79 says, so I can hire you for my regular taxes. Of course. Regular taxes are what we do. Yeah, but it's better to come to me and get them done right and get money back than to go to H&R Block and get all kinds of money taken from you. Those guys are crooks. And the other bad guy, guys, oh my Lord, this guy. He is causing so many problems for my clients. Well, my clients leave his law firm and they come to me. You might have heard the commercials for Dioghardy tax lawyers. They are the most incompetent pack of wolves I've ever come across in my life. They just take your money and do nothing for you. Dioghardy taxes? God, these guys suck. And the other one, if you're getting your taxes done by BDO or BDO's subdivision called Dunwoody, oh Lord, are you asking for trouble? These people are cowards. They have government contracts galore. They're not going to threaten their own livelihood by pissing off the government fighting for you. You got to get away from BDO. Criminals is what they are. They're all trustees, and trustees don't work for you. They work for the CRA. Factor that in. You're giving BDO Dunwoody about 10 times the price you would pay me for the same job, but they won't swear anything in. They will not take accountability for it, and they work for the CRA. Think about that. I hate the CRA, and the CRA is terrified of me. I'm the guy you want to hire. Okay. Stenny88 asks, how do you get my help? My website only, folks. I just don't have time to check my DMs. So DMing me on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, TikTok, it's not going to work. I just don't have time. So if you hit me on my website, those are the ones that I see. I'm a little old school. Email is my preferred way, and my website will email me instantly when you're on that site communicating with me there. Do I set up private trusts? Yes, I do, Gobble. I'm moving to South America within 2 years. I want to move my entire RRSP portfolio without taxes. Robert, I got it. Okay, here's what we do. RRSPs are a big scam in Canada. They lied to all of us, telling us that if you put money into an RRSP, you'll get a tax break today and you'll get all that money in the future. They didn't tell you that they're going to tax your RRSP up to 48%. That's the scam. So what I do is we could register for you a sole proprietorship in the same year that you want to take them out, and then you go out and put every single solitary business expense that you would ever need to offset that RRSP. That's what I do. Other accountants know how to do this, but they're cowards. They won't do this. You know what? Phone 10 accountants, just 10, randomly anywhere in the country, and ask them, can you get me back 100% of my RRSP taxes that the bank steals from me? Oh, no, we can't do that. No, go ahead. Try it for yourself. I'm telling you right now, I will get you 100% back on your RRSP tax withdrawals that the government takes from you, or you don't pay me for that tax year. Now, how does that sound? Nobody in the country can make that promise. I can. I know what I'm doing. Can you buy silver in Panama? Yes. I haven't tested it with a spectrometer yet, so I don't know if it's pure. I'll get back to you on that one. What time and when do you do your podcast? Every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on freedomreport.ca. It used to be my namesake, the Kevin J. Johnston Show. Now it's called the Tax and Money Show with Kevin J. Johnston, where we talk about taxes, banking, investments here in Panama, and we tell a lot of truths about how the financial world works in Canada and North America. Pre-construction home GST rebate, that's $24,000. Oh, that's an easy one. Oh yeah, I'll get you that back. That's an easy one, no problem. How long does CRA have to reply to the response it provided to an appeal? Well, they say that they have unlimited time. You know what the best thing to do is? Send in 1 appeal a day. Just keep sending it in by fax. Send it in, send it in, send it in by fax. You can use faxzero.com. It's free to send faxes. Do it after 10 o'clock at night so you're guaranteed your fax goes in. If you're objecting to anything that the CRA does, send them fax after fax after fax after fax. Don't stop until they reply. Keep faxing those idiots. Will Reagan, how were you able to leave the country with a what? What kind of a record? Are you talking with a criminal record? You mean for trespassing? You mean the trespassing fine that I got when I was a reporter showing everybody that there was no pandemic? Is that what you're talking about, Will? You're a troll, and we're going to get rid of you. Bye-bye, Mr. Troll. We have no time for people like, well, creatures like you. Everybody likes to reflect, the left-wing nuts out there like to reflect on the fact that when I was saving the lives of Canadians, telling you the truth that there was no pandemic, and I wrote a book called Masks Are Bullshit 4.5 years ago, debunking the entire thing, the Canadian government just kept piling on criminal charges. That's public knowledge, everybody. That's not something I'm ashamed of. When I saved the lives of 5 million Canadians, and all I had to do was spend 7 months in prison for that, I am so proud of what I've done. It is not an insult for you out there to be saying these things to me, but we're not here to talk about that. You want to know my life? It's an open book. It's all over the internet. Is it better to be incorporated over sole proprietorship? Why? Yes, absolutely. Sole proprietorships, we only open those to counter stock RSP, RESP, and GIC withdrawals. Beyond that, they're attached directly to your social insurance number, so they're a very, very bad idea. With a corporation, you can sink yourself into a ton of debt, and then guess what? Sell it to me, and you get to walk away from all of that debt. You cannot sell debt within a sole proprietorship, but you can with a corporation. Also, when you get sued, the corporation is certainly going to protect you. Now, one thing everyone has to keep in mind, you cannot be the director of a corporation. So when you are a director, get yourself off. You can pick an alias. John Smith, I don't know, Jane Doe, Bugs Bunny. It doesn't matter who the director is, so long as it's not you. So long as you retain 100% ownership of the shares, that's all that matters. Here's the awesome part about being a shareholder. The CRA has no idea who the shareholders are unless you tell them. Why? Because privately run and privately owned corporations do not have to share that information with the public. There we go. Some free advice. Okay, just going through some of your questions here. I'm planning on leaving Canada and heading to Panama. Do you help with that at all? Well, yes, Grateful Nancy, I do. I mean, my time is limited, but here's what I do for people that come to Panama. First off, I ask you some questions. It's like, what's your lifestyle? Do you want to be on the beach? Do you want to be away from all of society? Do you want to be in the mountains with a farm? Do you want to be here? Do you want to be here, right beside the Panama Canal? That's the Panama Canal right there. Do you want to be in the big city? Panama City is big. It's not as big as Toronto, but it certainly has a good size to it, with a subway system more advanced than Toronto. And it's only 35 cents to ride the subway train here. In the city, it's only 30 to 35 bucks a week is what I pay for groceries. That's it. That's it. There are some amazing restaurants here where I'll pay between 3 and 5 bucks for a meal. Yeah, there's a coffee shop I go to. Coffee, 50 cents. Cappuccino, $1. It's just absolutely amazing here in the city. But if you're going to somewhere like Coronado, which is about an hour, 45 minutes west of Panama City, all the gringos go there, so it's tourist trap pricing. I don't like it there, based on the pricing. If you're going to be in Bocas del Toro in the northwest side of the country, it's best that you are a millennial that likes alcohol, because that's pretty much what it is up there. It's a lot of vacationers partying all the time. So if you want to pick up chicks or pick up good-looking guys, that's where you go. San Blas is great, but it's not developed yet. So you'll fly in for the day, enjoy a day on the beach, and fly back out, or take a boat back out in the same day. Like, there's nowhere really to stay on the islands. So that would be a great investment opportunity for anybody. Bukete Oh my God, that place is beautiful. Phuket is like the Banff of Panama, where you'll recognize a lot of the trees that grow in Canada actually grow in Phuket as well, because the climate is not harsh at all. It's like 65 degrees every day of the year. And it's right beside Volcan Baru, the volcano. So, yes, I'll guide you, but you got to tell me what your lifestyle is well before you get here. I like big city life because I like being close to everything and everyone. I also like being close to good food that costs nothing. That's my take on it. I work hard, folks. I mean, I've been to the beach now 8 times in total since I've moved to this country. It's work. I came here to get wealthy, and the only way to get wealthy is bust your ass every hour of every day. I mean, look, I should be out there exercising right now. I'm talking to you. So it's all about work, folks. But there is a way to make a lot of money here in Panama. And if you're an investor or a developer, you'll get rich here in less than a year. I know, because I've done it. It's not even 1 year yet inside of Panama. I'm already wealthy. It's an incredible, incredible opportunity to be here. Stenny88 asks me, and I love this question, are you a lawyer? Nope. I passed the bar. I did pass the bar in 2006. And I told them to go fuck themselves. I don't want to be licensed by any governing body for anything in Canada, especially not the Law Society of Ontario. At the time, it was called the Law Society of Upper Canada. No, these people are a joke. All that pronoun nonsense, it was starting back then. I want nothing to do with any of that. So no, I'm not a lawyer, but I've studied law, criminal law and civic law for 20 years and tax law for 40 years. There we go. What time Tuesday is your podcast? 9 p.m. Toronto time, every Tuesday. All right. Crypto exchanges report to the CRA. Only the Canadian ones. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, do so on my website, please. Is Ecuador a decent country to retire in? I've not been. There are 2 Canadians in Ecuador right now who are actually moving to Panama after seeing all my videos, because Ecuador is apparently quite beautiful, and apparently the people are nice, and apparently the women are beautiful, but Ecuador doesn't have the economic growth capacity that Panama does. Panama's got the canal. Panama's got the big banking systems down here. Panama has products that you've never seen before, because everybody's products from all over the world end up in this city. There's a lot of amazing stuff here. So I won't judge Ecuador until I go and see it for myself. Just checking more questions here. I have a med spa company. I wanted to do surgery to go with my brand. Can I get it written off? Well, if I'm your tax guy, hell yes. If you go to a regular accountant, no, they'll cry and say, oh, I don't want to lose my license. Yeah, there you go. My elderly parents have not done their taxes in over 15 years. You know what? Actually, that's good, and I could get them. If they haven't done taxes for 15 years, God, man, you can get them back some money. Let me know. I just filed estate taxes for my late husband. Let me redo them. Let me redo those. I'll get you back everything that your husband has made in that time. I keep people's estates open for years. Years we keep those estates open. We never actually close estates until we have milked every penny out of each and every one of them. I can thank you very much, Johnny, for the heart there. We can go back 10, 15 years on dead people. It's a true story. I mean, my mother died 6 years ago. I'm actually in the midst of doing her taxes now, and I'm getting money back because I declared the estate to be perpetually open. That's my right. I was the executor on the will and on the estate. It's still open today. I just went to H&R Block. Don't ever do that. I'm equally critical of somebody performing brain surgery on themselves as I am going to H&R Block. Yes, I can redo your taxes for you. What are my fees for annual tax filings? On personal, if it's basic, $350 per year. If it's intermediate level, $600. If it's complex, $950. If it's overtly complex, it's by a quote basis. If it's corporate tax and it's basic to intermediate, $1950 per year. There you go. Woked out? Who wants a $25,000 retainer? Okay, 1 second here. Someone's asking me. There's some interesting questions being asked here. I'm reading your questions here, folks. I'm not being silent for any reason other than that. Can you stop a foreclosure that didn't follow due to process failure? Yes, but I need to know the whole story. And the problem with foreclosures and estates is most people don't tell the whole story. So if you're prepared to tell me every intimate detail about it, we certainly can do something about it. Any comments on Mark Carney? He's a far left globalist shill. He's the guy that's actually been running the country since Trudeau took office. So the only difference now is that he gets to do whatever he wants without having to go through a puppet. Dangerous times, everybody. Dangerous times. I got an opportunity to invest a hotel resort in Freeport and St. Croix. Do I have to report to the CRA? Absolutely not. Absolutely do not do that. Invest, make money, live life. Don't report it. CRA offers help with income tax. Yeah, okay. Well, Justin Trudeau offers help with your mortgage. It'd be the same thing. Why would the CRA help you not pay them? If you go to the CRA for help, they're going to ask you every intimate question that they need to screw you over, and then they'll screw you over. Don't do that, please. What do I make of tax-free savings accounts? Scam. Empty your money now. Put it into crypto. There you go. Do you set up private trusts? Yes, I do set up private trusts, but there's a lot of work that has to be done before we set up the trust. If you're going to one of those clowns out there that says that they can set up a private trust for $1,000, please steer clear. You can't set a trust up properly for $1,000. That's just someone taking your money, everybody. All right, so you got to do it the right way. Before you open a trust, you got to move all your property to numbered corporations first. Then get your money out of your current situation and into a hidden numbered corporation. Then we do trusts. Everyone does it the exact opposite way. It's really, really sad how many people get screwed on that. Okay, looking at some more questions here. If you have wage garnishing taking place, you're within your rights to sue your employer because those wage garnishments are always being done without a court order. The CRA doesn't get court orders. I know this. They've told me they don't do this. And I keep begging them, show me one. Just one little court order, please. And I'll take everything back I've ever said. They won't do it. So the way that we get rid of wage garnishment is I redo your taxes. I find every single write-off we can put in there and I redo your taxes and the garnishment goes away. Yeah, left-wing nuts. I got to be careful what I say about the left wing. Because certain words about things that I object to will get this live blocked. And another 1 week suspension. So if I ever disappear for a week, assume, not that I'm dead, and not that I've chosen not to go live, assume that TikTok has banned me for a week. I'm a Canadian citizen living and working in Dominican Republic. Okay, so keep your income quiet. By the way, everybody, we're almost at 30,000 likes. Can we get everyone going double tap? Just get your fingers going. Do. Let's get up to 30,000 likes today, if we could, please. This platform really does like it when people like your stuff. Thank you very much for the roses. I appreciate that. How about Medicare? What's the question about Medicare? Thank you, Joseph, for the rose. Yeah, could you elaborate on that, please? What are the schools like here in Panama? Basic. I mean, probably like what schools would have been like in the 1970s. Your kids will definitely learn Spanish while they're here. But there would be an opportunity for you to open up a private school for gringos, and you'd do very well because gringos will pay gringo prices for that. Trust me, they will. I thought about opening up a school down here, but I don't have time. A private school down here would do very well. How much for a house? Depends what city you're in, depends where you're going to be, depends what you want, depends on the perks that you want to come with the house, depends the neighborhood, depends everything. I bought a gorgeous condominium for $300,000. but it's in a gorgeous building in a great neighborhood with 2 rooftop pools and 24-hour security, which is not really necessary where I am, but it's still nice just to hang with the security guards. And there's parking in the basement. It's a beautiful place. There are some houses I'm currently looking at that are about $75,000, but they're outside of town. So here, that's the Panama Canal there, everybody. I'd have to cross the bridge that you see right here to get over the canal, to get over to where those houses are. And I don't really like what's on the west side of the canal. I like what's here on the east side. I love Panama City and all the areas around it. I even like Cologne, which is at the north end of the Panama Canal. It's an incredibly run-down city, but the people are pretty cool. And you can have breakfast there for 75 cents and be full for the day. So Cologne is a pretty wild town. In Cologne, you could buy a whole building for a couple $100,000. Wouldn't take much. How are the hospitals here in Panama? Hundreds of times better than Canada. And I'm buying one. You'll hear more about that later this year. I couldn't resist. It's going to be specializing in plastic surgery because for some reason everybody wants to get fake jugs and fake butts and fake everything else. But it's also going to be one that does really good joint replacement surgeries and really good spine surgeries. Yeah, it's not cheap, but doesn't matter. It'll make a ton of money. And of course, it's better than any Canadian hospital. I'm sure all of you know what kind of an ad campaign I'm going to run for that. Stay tuned. How much for a 1-bedroom place? There's a couple of really nice buildings that I could put you in really good neighborhoods where a 1-bedroom condo is anywhere between $70,000 and $110,000. There's a lot of this is cool. There are hotels in Panama City that will sell you a hotel room on a deed. Yeah, for like $50,000. It's deeded. You own it. And then you can hang around the hotel in your slippers all day. I'm thinking about it. There's a big one. All of you should look up this building in Panama. It's called Megapolis. It used to be known as the Hard Rock Hotel. The Hard Rock Cafe is still there. The restaurant's still there. Floor space wise, it's the biggest building in Latin America. They're actually selling hotel rooms inside the hotel. The hotel is awesome. It's attached to a huge mall and a huge banquet hall. It's right downtown, so you've got the ocean right across the road. You know, it's really cool what you can do down here. I mean, imagine trying to buy a hotel room in Canada. They'd laugh at you. Here, they want to help you do it. So Godfrey's asking, do you have a phone number? Oh my God, what if I gave that away? Holy, sure I have a phone number. But it only gets given out to clients. So if you are a client, you'll be able to call me when there's an emergency. Become a client, we can talk on the phone for sure. God help me if I ever made that number public. I'd never sleep again. I can use a remittance voucher from the CRA to pay the mortgage off. An interesting strategy. Maybe. I'd have to look that one up. No one's ever asked me that before. Cool idea. Okay, so Roseanne says, what is Roseanne says, I have big issues with the CRA. They hold money. Okay, so look, if CRA is holding money, I just have to redo your taxes. I just go back 5-10 years and do your taxes and they'll stop holding money. Do I claim income earned remotely from Australian company? Ready for this, Heather? Hold on, let's be dramatic. Ready? Dramatic answer. Fuck no. Absolutely not. Never should you tell the CRA about any foreign income whatsoever. How would they know? They're stupid people. They don't have detectives that work for them. No, absolutely not. It's yours. Put it in your pocket. Live life to the fullest with your own money. Okay, Tony says, what if I close a corporation? Well, if you close a corporation and it has no debt, fine. But if it has GST and payroll debt, they'll chase you forever. So you can sell me your corporation and I can take over your GST and your payroll debt. Imagine the CRA actually chasing me for something. That's not going to happen. CJ Clayton says, in 2019, we produced a film that got shut down by COVID when our executive producer died 2 days after the jab. Wow. So if you got to fix your taxes on that, let me know. Is my one-on-one chat real? Well, when you book a consultation, yes, it is. You get to talk to me directly. I'll be in the chat room with myself and my executive assistant, and sometimes I even have my legal agent in there when people have very serious legal questions. We can pop off all the answers right there on the spot. You got to remember this, everyone. I got to repeat this for everybody. If you are hiring me, yes, you book your consultation through my website, but when you're speaking to me, it's me. And I am not going to ask you for money, period, through a video where I record the video. I'm not going to ask you for money on an invoice until we speak face to face. There are deep fakers out there trying to scam you out of money, and they're using my face and my image and whatever else. But the software that they're using, because a lot of these clowns are in third world countries, doesn't sound like me. And even if they were going to be using AI to try to mimic my voice, they're not going to get my mannerisms down pat. Period. So if you do not speak to me, like this guy right here directly, don't give the face on the screen money. That's how it works. You talk to me. And it's always done in a chat room. Now, if you can't do it in a chat room, fine. We will do it on WhatsApp. If you don't have the bandwidth or the power on your phone, fine. We'll do it on the phone. But you're still going to be talking to me. Don't give anybody money until you've actually spoken to me directly. I'll be introducing you to my team. And then you'll know that we're real, first off, and that you're not being conned by someone running a deep fake with AI. AI is getting pretty scary, by the way. CJ Clayton says, CRA billed me $200K for a film that had no sales. Yeah, that's what they do. They're criminals. They're liars. They're thieves. They're dissimulators. Pick your phrase. Get a hold of me, we'll fix those taxes. Does PayPal and Stripe and other agencies like them report to the CRA? PayPal, yes. Square and Stripe, no. PayPal is kind of a pain in the ass that way. But just because they report, it doesn't mean that you owe anything. You could do $1 million in sales on your PayPal account, but still have $10 million of write-offs on the personal side. So that is absolutely no measure whatsoever of your actual taxable income. If I close my corporate business, do I have to still pay outstanding taxes? Income tax, no. Regional fines, maybe. GST and payroll, yes. So that's why it's better to sell me a corporation as opposed to trying to close it down and pray they don't find you. Because 5-10 years later, they'll come looking for you. But if you sell it to me, it's a share sale. They got to chase me for it. Do we have to tell the CRA that you're a non-resident of Canada? No. No. You have the right to remain silent. Nothing you do, nobody you date, nobody you know, no one you converse with, nothing you do is anybody's business. You've got the right to remain silent. That means shut up. Stop talking. Stop telling people your life story. It's no one's business. Period. Is Panama City safer than Toronto? Oh, God, yeah. Even in what people call the slums here, I walk alone at night and nobody bothers me. Like, look at this. I'm alone at night. The old military base there. You know, Panama Canal right there. Yeah, I'm alone at night. And then what I need to do is I have to walk through this rich neighborhood here, and I got to walk through a place called El Chorrillo, which is a very poor neighborhood. The Americans bombed the crap out of it when they were looking for Noriega back in '89, but no one's going to bother me there either. Nobody has threatened me, not even a single dirty look. I got called a name once because I kind of made a dumb move at the blackjack table, and the woman beside me goes, "Estupido gringo," because I hit on a 14 and I lost and she lost. Oops. Oh, but the dealer got a 17, so I would have lost anyway. That's it. Oh, for those, yeah, whenever I quote prices here in Panama, US. Canada's the only place that takes Canadian dollars. You can't even exchange your Canadian money down here anymore. Nobody wants it. It's junk. Could you generate revenue as rental units down here? Yep. Yeah, you sure can. How long have I been in Panama? It'll be a year in 3 weeks. There you are. Okay, so Grateful Nancy, knee surgery in Ontario. I was attacked by Antifa in 2018. They knocked me off of a ladder and I ripped my ACL when I fell. It took 6 months in Ontario to get an MRI and then 6 more months to get my knee surgery done. Here in Panama, it only would have cost me about $3,000 to get that whole thing done. And in 1 day. You know, you can walk into the hospitals here and say, hi, I'd like a Big Mac, large fries, and an MRI. Then you'll get the MRI. You won't get the fries, but you'll get the MRI. You don't even have to book an appointment. You know, you wait about an hour and you get your MRI down here. There's a place called Costa Verde, just west of Panama City. Would you like to know, everybody, what an X-ray will cost you for a broken arm? $6. Yeah. If I don't file my taxes and my mortgage renewal comes up, how do I prove my income? With an affidavit and an employment letter from me. That's how. If anybody wants to chat one-on-one, head over to my website and grab yourselves a consultation. If it's an emergency, I need to see the letter because right now we're booking into June for tax work. But if it's an emergency where there's a real serious threat against you, then I can get you a 15-minute emergency meeting in that same amount of time. Roseanne says, I need your advice, but I can't afford a $200 service. Okay, well, Roseanne, we have a seniors program here. So we're not here to get rich off the backs of the bruised. That's not who I am and not what I do. So what you might want to do is get an email done with a brief rundown of what your story is. Now, I'll get to it usually on the weekends is when I get to those emails. But at least we'll do our very best to try to figure out what we can do to help you out there. Lion says, I deal with you and you blocked me. Where? I can't block people on email, so which platform are you referring to? I need more details, please. I have not yet received a refund now. It's past 10 years? You filed it? Oh my God. Okay, so let's just redo your taxes for the last 10 years and force the refund. And this guy here, parking garage is locked. Another left-wing nut job. So we're just going to, 0 followers. There's a surprise. Blocked. Bye. There we go. The trolls, we just get rid of you guys. You don't work with people of a certain religion? Who said that? Who told you that? Why would I want to turn money down? All right, the only color that matters is green. All right, the only religion out there, the only icon that I bow to is the US dollar for now. All right, folks, listen up. I'm in this business to make money. I came to Panama to get rich. I make no secret about that. And I can tell you this right now. If you're going to tell me that I don't work with certain religions, I'm going to tell you that you're a liar. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. If you got money and you got a tax problem with the CRA, I'm going to take you on as a client. I don't care what religion you're part of at all. I don't care what God or deity you believe in. It doesn't make a difference what building you go to on what day of the week. I'm here to get rich and hurt the CRA. So, you've been told. My niece, who's a single mom of 3, went to file her taxes and suddenly they were trying to charge her. Oh, that's an easy one. That one we can fix. But the CRA actually tells a lot of single moms out there, if you don't pay your tax, we'll take your kids. Yeah, that's extortion. That's also uttering threats and conspiracy to kidnap. So you're looking at about 15 years on conviction. We have to start charging these people criminally. Hello from Limerick, Ireland. Ireland. You got to say it with the O. Ireland. Yes. I've yet to go, but I will be there next year. I'm actually coming to Ireland for 2 months next year. So look me up when I get there. I'll be landing in Dublin, I'm sure. Okay. I'm going through 2 years reassessment appeal with CRA. Well, it's always good. Appeal everything. Appeal everything that they do. Tony's asking, can I get your website? My name, KevinJJohnston.com. My name, KevinJJohnston, JOHNSTON.com. All right, just checking a few things here. I'm thinking of selling one of my 3 film companies. No assets, no tax bills. Sorry, are you saying that you have lots of taxes but no assets? Because I can certainly buy that one from you. We'll talk about how that works, and I'll get you out of every single tax bill that you have. If it has no assets and no tax bills, you don't need to sell the corporation. We can find a way to milk it, and I'll explain that one in a private conversation to you. Someone just said I have awesome energy. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I realized something, guys. I'm 53. I'll be 54 this year, which means I've got less than 35 years remaining in my lifespan. I'm sure 5 of those I'll be pissing my pants, and that's not really a high quality of life. So let's live it up now. Live it up, folks. Live it up. And you got to go where you're treated best. And I know a lot of you are fed up with Canada. Sometimes you just got to say the hell with it and go. Just go. I left. I packed all my stuff and just walked out the door. I'd had enough. I had had enough of Canada's left-wing nonsense. It's bullshit, and it's bad for you, folks. All right? It really is. Get out and find out where you belong in this world. And Panama City is where I belong. So I am thrilled to be here, and my energy levels are through the roof. And I get my blood tested every 3 months just to see what my health is like. And my testosterone is now almost 1.5 times what the average 53-year-old's testosterone is. So if you're going to be a girlfriend of mine, you're in trouble, because you know why. Alrighty. Canadians are spending their money in Canada because the economy is going. Yeah, okay. There is no economy in Canada. Period. So keep your money for yourselves. Invest it in what makes money. And when you get a chance, just get out. Okay. So Haneen, thank you. I appreciate it. Checking more questions here. Do they suspend your driver's license if you submit 0 on your taxes? No, that's the Family Responsibility Office does that when you don't pay child support, or when you're accused of not paying child support, but you still do. The CRA cannot cancel your passport, your driver's license, fishing license, gun license, pilot license, doctor's license, accounting license. They cannot pull any of them at all. How much for an MRI in Panama? About $700. Alrighty. And Love Souza says, love this guy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Best way to contact me, through my website. I don't have time. I just don't have time to go through my DMs here. So don't DM me on social media. I probably won't get to you. Hit me on my website, please. Is there equipment operator work in Panama? There is, but you want to make sure that you're not working for a Panamanian company if you want to make the big bucks. You want to work for Maersk, or you want to work for Costco, or any of the major shipping companies that have slots here at the Panama Canal. You want to work for a foreign company, not a Panamanian company, because the German companies pay a lot, and the American companies pay a lot. You want to work with them. The Brazilian companies are okay, they pay a bit. The Panamanian companies pay Panamanian wages, so you want German wages. Maersk, how do you spell that? M-A-E-R-S-K, Maersk. They've got about half the shipping containers down here. Dr. Dre, if they can go after me for GST and payroll, if I sell you the corporation, how do you get rid of it? Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I keep the debt specifically to have the CRA contact me so that I can sue them for harassment. Oh yeah. None of you know this, but I'm the guy who managed to get tort harassment lawsuits to be a thing in this country. It was because I decided to very half-assedly defend myself when I was sued by Alberta Health Services. There is now a tort harassment lawsuit available to you. So if the CRA, I issue commands to them. Do not call me on this file before this date, or I will sue you for tort harassment. And when they phone, lawsuit, la 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 la. Oh yeah, I want your corporations. I'm goading the CRA. I'm challenging them all the time now. Please harass me. Call me for something. If it's the right file, if the CRA is calling me for a client file, I take the call, no problem. If they're calling me about something where I've told them that they've got my permission to call me in that set period of time, no problem. But if they're calling me to question me on something after I tell them, hey guys, I need 120 days to fix it. If they call me again, lawsuit. You can do the same thing, you know. Look it up for yourselves. AHS v. Johnston. You'll see that because of me deliberately losing that lawsuit, deliberately losing, you can now sue cops, politicians, and the CRA for harassment. You're welcome. Now use your newfound freedom. Mother passed away. We've been told there's no capital gain. Sorry, we've been told there's capital gains on our 10 acres. Not if I'm your tax guy. And if you have someone right now doing your taxes and you have a lawyer, fire them all and get a hold of me immediately. I'll stop that capital gains bullshit from happening. I'll keep the estate open as long as it takes to get that to go away. Lawyers are cowards. They just take your money and do whatever the CRA wants. No. Do not sign anything. Do not close anything up. Do not pay capital gains. Do not let anyone do your taxes but me. Please contact me on my website. Please, please, please. Okay, so here's this. WV Wildlife. This is an excuse I hear. Now, I'm not mocking you, but I hear this all the time. I'd like to leave Canada, but I have too many grandchildren. I'm sorry. That means what to me? That means what to you? If you are tired of something, you're not obligated to stay there for any reason whatsoever. What you can do as, I guess, the matriarch of the family is say, the hell with this, I'm leaving. You guys want to see grandma? Grandma's going to be in Panama. I told my entire family, hey guys, I've had enough of this Canada crap. You know where I'm going. I'll see you there. And I just left. I left. Now here's the crazy part. Even though my family stayed in Canada, and they're leaving. They hate it as much as I do now. They'll be coming here soon. But even though they are there, I'm still able to provide a better life for them being here and them being there than I ever could in Canada. Because nobody stops me from utilizing my talents here. Nobody gets in my way here. You know the cops give me free rides all over the city? All right, I'm the gringo that gives them free coffee and donuts. Like I walk around town, especially in my neighborhood, and I'll walk with a friend of mine who speaks Spanish, and we will just give the cops coffee, and cappuccino, and sandwiches. Sometimes donuts and cake, right? Well, first off, it's cheap, and it's a peace offering, and I don't want to be known as the bad guy here. I'd rather be known as the generous guy here because I like being here. This country's been good to me, so I'm good to it. I'm good right back. When I'm treated well, I'll treat you 10 times better. That's what Panama is for me. So you can just pick up and go. I picked up and I left and my life got amazing. So much so that my family's going to follow me. You can do the exact same thing. Don't make excuses. Would you receive your veteran's pension if you move to Panama? If you're talking Canada, yeah, because you're going to keep your mouth closed. You're not going to tell them anything. Everybody makes big deals. Everyone calls the government and tells the government what you're doing. Why would you do that? Hi, I'm going to move to Panama, but don't take my benefits away. And they'll say, no problem, sir. And then they'll take your benefits away. Or you just go, keep your mouth shut, and everything's fine. Don't talk to anybody about what you're doing. Don't tell people your plans. Just go. Chauffeur asks, why are they trying to come after people for the CERB money, which was supposed to be help money? Because they were told to do so by Justin Trudeau. They're trying to recuperate a $1.7 trillion debt that we have because of Trudeau and his left-wing politics spending policies. That's why. I'm interested in a hotel room sale. How can I get into it? Okay, so Julie Babs, just look up Megapolis. Megapolis. It's also known as the former Hard Rock Cafe Hotel right downtown Panama City. And then when you're Googling that, you can say, I want to see all the hotel rooms for sale. And it will show you the listings. It's hilarious. I mean, there are 1 and 2 bed hotel rooms for sale. What you could do is buy a 2-bed hotel room and say, get rid of one of the beds, put a couch in, and live in a hotel. I lived in hotels for 4 years When I was in the United States working for Hewlett Packard from 1996 to the year 2000, it was a fantastic time. Living in hotels, it's very cool. There's always some kind of big social event taking place. There's typically a gym. There's typically a pool. There's typically a good restaurant either in the place itself or somewhere else. There's typically continental breakfast if you feel like eating that kind of thing. There's a lot of advantages to living in hotels. I did it for 4 years. And if someone said, put a gun to my head and said, you have to live in hotels again for the next 4 years. Okay. Absolutely. Just checking more questions here. The CRA says I didn't file my taxes. I file them every year. They say I owe money. Yeah, it's a trick. It's what they do. They want you to panic and call them so they can try to talk you into being afraid. So I'll have to redo your taxes and I have to swear everything in. By the way, whenever I do taxes, I swear everything into an affidavit so they cannot question anything unless they choose to sue me and question me, which they will never do. What about child benefits if we move out? Keep our mouths shut. Well, keep your mouth shut and you'll keep your benefits. Shh. Stop talking. Don't tell anybody about your personal life. It's nobody's business. I have 4 years of old business with $85,000 in liabilities. Is there a way we can make some money if we sell it? Well, no, you don't make money if you sell me the debt, but you get to walk away from the debt. So if it interests you to sell me that debt, I'll take the whole thing off your hands and you get to walk away and start over. You're 15 years behind on your taxes. Do you need a lawyer? No. Tax lawyers know nothing about taxes. That I can promise you. Let me redo your taxes and you'll owe zero. Zero. Okay, everyone, listen. I got to go. All right, I've been talking here for a lot longer than I thought that I would. I was expecting 10 minutes. I just want to let you all know that's the Panama Canal. That's the old American military base beside the canal. That plane is landing at Albrook Airport. That's Ancon Mountain behind me. There's all the cranes in the canal. And this is the administrative building here in Panama. It was built in, hold on, let me get my glasses on. I can't see that far. It was built in, all right, MDCCCC X14. That's 1914. That's when this magnificent structure here was built. There we go. The Panama Canal administrative building. And what it's got here is a lovely staircase with 168 steps on it. And my workout routine is I come here, I walk 5Ks to get here. I go up and down the staircase 20 times. And if my legs still work, I walk back. All right? And if they don't, I take a $5 Uber, sometimes a $3 Uber, depending the time of the day to get back. So everyone, for those who know me, for those who know my crazy story in Canada, I am happy here in Panama. I'm healthy here in Panama, and I am wealthy here in Panama. And this is the place where you can do the exact same thing. You can do it all. It's a matter of not having a leap of faith. It's just believing in yourself and getting the hell out of that communist dump called Canada and try something new somewhere else. You're not going to ever grow unless you try something new. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you Tuesday night live, 9 p.m. Toronto time, right here. Ciao.